Chris, I'm calling in by phone.
Who is this is calling in by phone?
Rogers. Ending is 51.
51. Okay, Dan, that's fine. All right, seeing there's no comment to suspending the pledge, we will. Do we have any public comment tonight? Any public comment? One more time, any public comment? All right, we can move on to the approval of the January minutes. Has everybody had time to read them?
Move to approve.
I second it.
Okay. Chris, did you get that? All approved?
I got the second was McCartan. Who made it?
Brian.
Brian. Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? So moved. Approval. Correspondence.
I received correspondence from Grant Alfonso about Western New York Law Enforcement Helpline AAIC training. New York State Department of Health letter stating we need to submit 2 nominations for the Emergency Medical Service Council to be considered by the commissioner, and we received the invoice for $2,500 from the Western New York Stress Reduction Program. That's it.
All right. Any questions about the correspondence? All right, onward to the treasurer's report.
Hello, everyone. I sent out the treasurer's report by email. This quarter, we have not had any expenditures that have been yet made. We do have the $3,000 quarterly report that still has to be made by the end of the quarter to UBMD, or UEMS, I should say. And we did receive the invoice from the Western New York Stress Reduction Program. And I know we budgeted for that matter and the budget was adopted, but I wondered if there was needed to be any discussion about payment of that invoice. Are there any questions that anyone has?
I hear no questions.
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Second.
All in favor of the treasurer's report? Say aye.
Aye.
Would you like me to address our quarterly claims and so forth at this time, our reimbursement and so forth, or should that come later on, the budget, or? I don't know if you, we were waiting for the contract to actually be executed by the state before we were able to make any kind of claim for the period last April through June. I have since submitted that because the contract just a couple of weeks ago was finally actually executed by OSC. And the next 2 quarters will be submitted as soon as I'm able to enter our budget, which we previously already approved. I'll enter that and then submit those claim forms also. That would be for the first and second quarters of this year. So we've had direction on how to do that, and that's what's in the works right now and that I'm processing currently. So we should be fully receiving reimbursement for all of our expenditures since last April through this December currently, and then into this next quarter, once this quarter is completed.
All right. Thank you. We have a motion. It was seconded on the floor to approve the treasurer's report. Is it still, Chris, you made it? Are you still cool with keeping it? Yes. All right. All in favor of approving the treasury report, say aye.
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 And should I also go forward with paying that invoice from the stress reduction program at this time?
Yes.
Are there any questions about that invoice or?
No, we already approved it.
In the budget, yes. I haven't uploaded the budget yet. This budget, even though we've approved it, has not been uploaded to the state system because of the delay with COVID. And they hadn't even executed the contract, the extension, the grant extension until now. Just wanted to be sure that we make that payment. Or is it something that I should check with them again before as an approved expenditure that we will be reimbursed for? Is that making sense?
It's already been placed in the budget. Then my suggestion is that we just vote it through rather than try to figure out what the state does or doesn't want at this point in time.
Okay, that's fine. If that's what everybody wants, that's what I'll do.
We vote on it contingent upon the state's approval?
Well, I guess that's kind of the idea I had. If there's some question that they have, whether or not it is a legitimate expense that they will reimburse, I can base it contingent on that. Make payment at that point.
You know what?
Yeah, with the changes in the state requirements, I would suggest we probably do that before we are held accountable for that money.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to make a motion?
I will wait for their, well, go ahead.
Do we make a motion on that, or do you want to just go ahead and do it?
Well, we have a half of a vote for approving the treasurer's report on the floor now. Do we want to pull that and start over again?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't allow we already voted on the approval of the treasurer's report, right?
Mhm.
Didn't I?
Are we
Okay.
good on that?
So now I think it's just to make the payment on this invoice contingent upon the state's approval that it's a legitimate expense that they will be reimbursing us for.
All right.
Maybe some better wording. Okay.
Madonna made that motion with a little better wording. Does anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
Carol second. All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any nays? All right, so passed.
Believe that's all I have for now.
All right. Medical Advisory Committee. Anything? Anybody here for the Medical Advisory meeting?
Greg is the council's representative. I'm not sure if he was able to get back on or not.
He's still trying. They got wherever they're trying to get access from. It looked like they were at a pod site someplace. They got knocked off.
It's Greg. I don't have anything for the medical advisory.
All right,
Oh.
thank you, Greg. Next, New York State Councilor Greg.
Next meeting is scheduled for May. It'll be a conference call type meeting.
All right.
Yes.
How about Erie County?
If that's Erie, Erie's somewhat busy with the COVID response, and I'll let Tracy talk about all our vaccine collection sites.
Is there any questions for Erie County?
What did you say?
Any questions for Erie County for their report? The council? No?
Okay.
How about Wyoming County?
Wyoming County's been quite busy with the vaccines and testing clinics. We did roll back our testing clinics. We were doing drive-through. The need for Wyoming County seemed to get lowered quite a bit. So now we're down to 1 day a week by appointment back at our health department. So down the road with all the opening, we anticipate going back to a drive-through, but we'll just monitor and make adjustments as needed. As everybody is short of vaccines, we're struggling to get vaccines. What we're promised, we never seem to receive, just like for tomorrow's vaccines that was pushed out. We are in a partnership with Genesee, Orleans, and Wyoming County. We're going to have a mass vaccination at GCC if everything goes to plan on Monday. So, and then we are pushing through. We got 2 EMT classes running right now. Pretty good participation. And those are running smoothly. So, and a report.
All right. Any questions for Bill? All right. New York stress. Western New York stress reduction.
Stress reductions reported that they had 5 or 6 outreach programs in the last month. Things seem to be picking up a little further, and they're also extending a little into individual counseling. There's been a number of significant events and calls in the last couple of weeks in Erie, Wyoming County. That's their report.
Budget committee?
Nothing currently, no updates.
All right. Thank you, McDonough. Membership.
Erie County is full with 13 members and 4 alternates. Wyoming County is still lacking 3. I do have some members that are expiring at the end of the month. Madonna, Brian, Crystal, and Jim Hammond, if they could let me know if they want to stay on the committee, and I'll re-up their terms. That's all I got.
Thank you, Ann. Systems committee.
No report.
Training and ed.
No report.
Bylaws.
No report.
Awards and PR.
Nothing additional for awards and PR just yet. But the Vital Science Academy is coming up and continuing to do that. And then the conference, I believe they're going to have it in November in Saratoga Springs. There might be some limited. I don't know if they're actually going to open up or it's going to be virtual. We'll find out more about it.
New York State Department of Health. Ed said he couldn't attend. I'm assuming that means there's no report unless someone else has one. Executive Board, we didn't meet last month. There's nothing, I have nothing for that. Unless a member of the board has something that I don't know about. All right, program agency.
My report was distributed this afternoon. Just a couple of really only one or two items that I just want to point out. First thing, this is probably something that Ed would have reported had he been able to join tonight. So all of the operating certificate renewals are moving to essentially electronic documents, and so you're not going to be receiving your packets in the mail. Super important that your agency contact information is up to date in the New York State database. I think it's the 206 form. That's their update form. I don't specifically recall. But if you're unsure if your information is correct, it might be worth just submitting an agency update form to the Bureau to make sure that nothing is overlooked and that you don't miss getting your documents. We're in really good shape. They're doing all the renewals. Everything's been sent out for everything through March 31st. So everything in the first quarter, everything had been sent out. According to our records for the Wyoming Erie region, there's only one service that has not renewed yet, and that's Blossom Fire Company. And we know that we've been in contact with them. We know that they're actually in process. So they got the information that they needed. Along the same line, the Bureau does have access to our portal, so they can view information that's in there. So, if your information's up to date in the portal, that will certainly help with this process. Likewise, our portal will automatically send out notifications to services that are coming up for renewal ahead of time so that, again, it's not overlooked. So just a helpful tool within the portal. We have we've been facing a lot of questions about the EPCR requirement and the communication that has come out. I think probably everyone who's involved with this, really from the state all the way down, they probably would want a do-over on this. It just shouldn't have been rolled out the way that it was rolled out. It really created some hysteria where it was really not needed. So just to clarify, so everybody on the committee is aware of what the requirement is, and to brief you on what our conversations have been with Director Greenberg and Peter Brody and the Bureau staff. The requirement to be on an electronic PCR to continue in the CME-based recertification program is by December 31st of this year. That is what the original requirement was that was publicized in the administrative manual. The March 31st date that was put out there, they have backed off on that date. We are really asking agencies, we're getting the 5136 forms, which is the form that you use to enroll in EPCRs. we're getting these forms that are coming in absolutely blindly. People do not know what they're signing up for. They don't know what's involved with going live. They're just trying to meet a deadline that was, put out there 6 weeks ahead of time and seemingly came out of the blue. So the date has been backed off on that. We are organizing training sessions to get people current. CME applications are going to continue to be processed. The Bureau is not going to not process someone's CME restart application if they're not live on an EPCR platform by March 31st. We have 2 sessions that are scheduled in Wyoming County in the month of March. We're really restricting attendance to those 2 sessions for Wyoming County agencies. I will freely admit, Wyoming County, you are our guinea pigs on this one, because we want to be able to go through the 2 seminars and make sure that we are covering the information that needs to be covered and that it's useful to the people who are there. We're confident it's going to be. In 5 minutes, I'm going to be jumping on a presentation with Peter Brody regarding this requirement and how it's going to be implemented. But what our vision is with this is they're going to be in-person seminars and that we're going to go over the requirement, what's involved, what the options are that are out there in terms of what the state option is, and how you would enroll in that if that's the direction that you go. We're also going to touch a little bit on if you choose not to go with the free option from New York State, and what the alternative programs are that are out there. So we're really trying to orchestrate this on a regional level rather than having New York State do the presentations. You're welcome to join the New York State presentations. We did not publicize them. We made it clear that we were not going to publicize them, just because we're really trying to orchestrate this from a regional effort so we can make it very specific to the agencies that are in the 2 counties and really help people get from start to finish and not have pandemonium going on when this is going on. So I'm being very direct with you. I was very direct with Director Greenberg about this, as were every other program agency across the state. We're all in the same boat. We just need to take a step back and regroup, and that's what we're doing. And that's why I sent the communication out on our listserv a couple weeks ago, just saying, look, for right now, don't do anything unless you're already working with an EPCR vendor. Don't do anything for right now. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Sorry, it was kind of a long answer, but just felt it was really important for everyone on this committee to have an understanding and a sense of where we're at with this, and that we're going to help everybody get through this, just as we would with any other requirement. I don't know if anybody has any questions on that, but that's basically the substance of my report.
Scott, I have a question related to your report, but not related to EPCR.
Sure.
I noted that you said you're still out of contract, which I assume means that New York State's also still not paying you. I know that that's affected some of the other program agencies in the area and some disruption of services. Is there any reason to anticipate that there will be a disruption of services for your organization, or that you're going to get this wrapped up pretty soon, or the state's going to get it wrapped up pretty soon to be able to move forward?
Yeah. So in short, no, there will be no disruption of services. I say this a lot. I'm not bragging, but that's the benefit of having a group like ours that, I didn't see a disruption in my paycheck. I continue to get a paycheck, even though we have not been paid for anything since July 1st. We got an 80% check back in back in October rather, but that was for the quarter 4 of last year. So that was until June 30th. They lost our contract. It was discovered 10 days ago that it fell out of the queue somewhere. I was checking on the status because all the other program agencies had seemingly moved forward. Ours hadn't. And so as of 2 days ago on the 1st, it had moved to the Office of the State Controller for an offline review. And at that point in time, they may ask for additional information. We're hoping that we will have this all wrapped up by the end of March, and then we can start submitting vouchers and quarterly reports and start getting money in. So there will be no disruption in the service. And we remain committed to staying on as the program agency and working with the state to get this finalized.
Thanks, Scott.
Is there any other questions for Scott? All right.
Scott, in relation to it's not the EPCRs, but the regular paper, the forms, the PCR forms, are we still able to order those on the website? And I mean, I can just contact the office. I tried calling, but I know they're very busy.
So
What do we do with that?
We're gonna have to actually take that off of our website. We're not able to get PCRs anymore. People smelled what was going on, and we got inundated with orders and people trying to get them to stash them. And so we sort of filled, we rationed, but I think we're actually out of PCRs. If we're not, we're almost entirely out. We will not be getting any additional shipments, and anyone who wants to order them will need to do so directly from the state, and they will ship them out, and they will not ship them to you until you tell them where you stand with going to EPCRs. They're trying to centralize the control on this. It's also going to change what happens at the end of the month too when you submit your yellow copies, because theoretically they're not coming to us after March 31st, although I don't know if that's going to still stand. So these are questions that we still don't exactly have answers to.
Okay, I know our agency, Bliss Rescue, only has like 3 left, and I know I had tried ordering them about a month ago, and I was just wondering. Thank you for answering my question. We'll have to figure that out.
You have 3 PCRs left?
Yes, we've been waiting, and yeah.
Okay,
You laughed.
we can.
We have the second page, but we need the first. So
Okay.
we weren't trying to get them to try to stockpile them. We just wanted some to get us through until, we had whatever comes of the EPCR situation.
We'll break into a Chiefs truck somewhere. They probably have 50 or so.
Maybe I can borrow a few from one of our neighboring squads or something. Okay, thank you.
Madonna, I keep them obviously here in Perry just in case our system goes down, but I can definitely get you guys at least a good 10, 15 or 20 of them.
Yeah,
So I'll give them to Carolyn next time I see her.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that. We'll be in touch.
Not a problem. Okay, perfect.
All right, old business? Does anyone have old business? Old business. New business.
I have an item to bring up, Crystal.
Yes.
Okay, this is Bill Stryker. We've been working, the core sponsor's been working with, in conjunction with the health department. We put an application in to upgrade our core sponsor to ALS status. It's been quite some time and we haven't been able to pull that off. Erie County was working on something similar, again, back and forth with the state. And where we are with it right now is we're doing a joint venture for a class that's most likely going to kick off this fall, late summer, early fall. Erie County would be the primary sponsor. Wyoming County would be the secondary sponsor. And part of it's, most of it's going to be, we're looking at East Aurora area for a lot of the in-person classes. We're going to do virtual classes, and class size will be limited. The health department, the Bureau, is liking what we've been able to put together. And the reason I bring it up is that if we could have the support, probably through a letter of some sort from this council to support that initiative. If Greg's still on, he could fill in some blanks too if need be.
So Bill, is this an advanced level class that like is it getting approved outside of a advanced core sponsorship?
It's advanced level class. We tried to upgrade our course sponsorship, and with COVID and whatever other reasons everybody wants to use it, it kind of stalled. And then Erie County had some things they were trying to get going on too. So again, we reached out. Gene Taylor was on board. We've had multiple Zoom meetings, and we got the green light to move forward. We just got to go through the process. So
My specific question is relative.
a joint.
Yeah, Brian, what was happening was there were two of us going for the sponsorship, and the state health department didn't want to give out separate ones because they were concerned about catchment. Stop smiling. Right? They were worried about catchment areas and being able to have a survivable course. So they came to us and said, well, we consider combining the two and working together. And after talking to Bill and Mr. Myers over there, we figured that we could combine efforts. And between Wyoming County and Erie County, we can easily fill up a class and be financially stable.
Yeah, it sounds like a fantastic idea. I was actually going to inquire, whether you'd heard anything, because we'd approved as a council quite a while ago. You are upgrading the course sponsorship to the advanced level. So glad to hear something's finally moving forward.
I appreciate that. And, with everything, it's been a little frustrating, but I think, Bill, just hang up for a second, all right? I think we're going to have a good relationship with Wyoming County to get advanced where we need to get advanced. Ann Lapp's one of our instructors. She doesn't know it yet, so you might want to just keep it to ourselves. So I think what we're looking for is just another letter of support from the region, us going into this agreement, and that'll just one more piece of paperwork that'll help.
I'll make that motion that the secretary write a letter of support for the collaborative. Yeah, Chris, wow. That was a dirty look, man. A letter of support for the collaboration between the two counties.
Dan, I agree, but if instead of the secretary, we could just have the chair of the training and ed committee write.
Yeah, that could work.
Is he the one with the glasses or without the glasses?
How come I get the dirty look and he doesn't? Oh, yeah, I can see the hand gestures there. Okay. All right.
I second the motion, whoever's going to write it.
It looked like to me he's got it all wrote already.
Just got to hit send.
Cool.
All in favor of this motion?
Aye.
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 Any objections? Any abstentions? All right, so moved. New,
Madam Chair, I have something. Greg?
yes, Greg.
The state is requesting a letter from the council supporting my reappointment to the REMSCO.
Yes. Do I have any discussion? Anybody wants to jump forward with a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I make a motion to nominate or to continue Greg Gill's appointment to the REMSCO.
Second? Ann, do you want
Aye.
that?
Sure.
All right.
Hey, Crystal, on the question,
Yes,
I think we get two appointees or two nominees, don't we?
we get one? We get one and a backup, don't we?
The letter states.
I think that
You submit two names.
Do we have someone else that's interested in going with Greg?
I'm not sure.
Well, they wouldn't be going with me. It's not that bad.
All right.
Crystal, I'm not sure if he's interested, but I would certainly like to nominate Bronner. And if he's got to go with Gil, the two of them can enjoy each other's company.
Is that who we have currently? I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are the two that are currently there.
I second it.
Brian,
I don't like mustaches.
all right, I have a second. I don't really see an objection from Brian. So all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any objections? Any extensions?
I'll abstain from the vote.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Ditto.
All right, motion passed.
Chris, what do you need from me? I think it's just a resume and a letter or something.
Resume. I think that's all it was too.
It says, please forward a letter of nomination and current curriculum vitae, including the date of birth of your candidates and a short description as to why they are being nominated. Oh.
I'll write it for you, Brian.
I'll send them the same letter I sent last time with a different date.
Okay. Who made the nomination? Who seconded that for this motion? I didn't get that.
Carol made it and Ann seconded it. Am I
I just did it.
right?
Who made it?
Carol.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm? New business, I have elections on my list. Do I have anybody from the election committee that wants?
I did not receive any requests to run, and neither did Lynn.
All right. But we open it up to the floor, right? We have a vice
I'd like to
chair.
nominate Carol for co-chair.
Wait a minute. Who did you nominate? I'm sorry, I missed it.
That's right. Heather Hagan speaking. I would like to nominate Carol for co-chair.
I believe Carol was nominated last time.
Last month, yes, or last.
Last month for co-chair, yes.
And we had Madonna for treasurer and Greg Gill for chair-elect, and that was all we had.
No, it's Greg Gill for chair.
Well, he'd move it, yeah.
Greg automatically succeeds Crystal at the end of her term.
Yeah. Do we need board members? All right. I have Carol on as a nomination for vice chair. Or chair, yeah, vice chair elect. Do I have any other nominations? Is there any other nominations for vice chair? I have to do it 3 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any other nomination for vice chair?
I move that the secretary cast one ballot for the unopposed nominee for chair elect.
Second it.
I have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. For treasurer, I have on the ballot right now Madonna. Is there any other nominations from the floor for treasurer? Any other nominations for treasurer from the floor? Last call. Any more nominations?
I make a motion, close the ballots, and somebody cast one ballot. She probably can't vote for herself, I guess. Her secretary cast one vote.
Second.
Motion made. All in favor of electing
Aye.
Madonna? Say aye.
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 I guess, Ann, I'll be on the board. What do you need from me? Just as
For
far
what?
as for renewing. You said I was up in March. Sorry.
And I think you're muted.
There. I just need an email from you and I'll put that in your file.
Okay.
Thank
Will
you.
do. Thank you.
Hey, was there any opposition to Madonna being treasurer? Any abstentions? We have Madonna as treasurer. Do we have any other elections tonight? Is that it? Just the two of them?
That would be it unless you're gonna do the board. The executive board.
Do you mean the directors at large, Ann?
Yes.
I think those terms are still active because we elect them 2 at a time for 2-year terms.
Okay.
So we're good on those?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't have a record of who's on, so then I'm good.
We're good. All right. All right. Is that it for new business? Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Make a motion.
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Have a good night, all.
We have